The first product that I want to give detailed information on is the twisted pair type connector, either Cat 5 or Cat 6. The reason for that is even though HD, TVI, CVI, AHD is an analog coax based system, you may in fact want to use the Cat 5 connector that's already in the building because there's an awful lot of Cat 5 cable that's not being used. Or in fact, it could be a piece of Cat 5 that's already got a valence on it and they're using it as an analog system. So here's how you prepare and terminate the connector. The first one will be a pass-through connector, which has historically been a very large volume connector, but we've made some design changes at your request, and I'll show you what we've done. You strip the jacket off the cable. And this is a little trick of the trade that I learned, is you can take the outer jacket and place it on the cable. And you can straighten out the cable, which makes it a whole lot easier than trying to do it by hand. So you could use the outer jacket to straighten out the cables. Then once you've got them straight, you need to make sure that is in the proper pinout for the type of installation you want to make, 568A or 568B. The crimp tool has that terminology down here in a chart. So it shows you what the proper color pinout should be. So I'm using a 568B, and that is orange, white, orange, white, green, blue, white, blue, green, white, brown, brown. Yep, I'm going to move that green. Well, like I say, nothing is ever perfect. Oop, there you go. Green, white, brown. And you insert the connector in, push it all the way through, and you can check the color. One of the advantages of having the pass-through is you can check the pinout because it's right there in front of you. Now I want to demonstrate what I was referring to before. Is the old connector, this little cutting board, as you call it, was further down on the mating face of the connector. Therefore, when the knife of the tool came down, it didn't cut it, I'll call it, it scathed it. It wasn't a perfect cut. So what I did is I moved the cutting board up right underneath the wires so that it would provide a perfect cut. You put the wires in, or you put the connector in the tool. Okay, this is real life, so. All the wires cut, and make note, all the wires cut on the first pass. What that means is that you now have a perfectly flush wires, and historically 1 and 7, 2 and 8 would not come off, and you'd have to wiggle them off. With this perfect connection, you don't have to worry about shorting. And shorting and perfect connections are much more important when you're going into the higher resolution 8 megapixel cameras.